Dating when you have a kid is weird because people think that you're trying to make them a step-parent. Hello? Have you seen the way that you act and the way that you live? Baby, I'm just trying to smash. There's no way. I'm not trying to get you involved for real. Babe. Oh my God, look at you. You thought I would make you a parent? It's gonna be a no for me, baby. It's a no for me. I'm just trying to smash.
You go 50-50 on a date. For me, if I'm able to provide for myself and my baby and get ready and take all that time and effort to come meet a man, I expect him to either meet me there financially or be above me financially. And if I'm going on a date, I expect to be put in my feminine energy. And that is not gold digging. That is just having standards. And when a woman says, put me in my feminine energy, she means show me that you're intentional, show me you can lead, and show me that you value my time and effort before we meet. And here's what some men forget. When a woman feels safe and valued before she even meets you, that just sets the tone for the entire relationship. So if covering a woman's Uber or just simply making the process as seamless as possible for her is an issue, then we are just not aligned. Because at the end of the day, even if it doesn't work out, you can still leave saying, I made a woman feel respected today. I made a woman feel valued. And I made her feel safe. And you know what? That is going to come back to you tenfold. And if it does work out, when you make a woman feel happy, she will make you 10 times happier. This is exactly why I'm building my new dating app called Pledge. Women deserve to feel valued from the very beginning, and the men who are providers and protectors of this world get it. Oh, take this or leave this, but when a woman tells you exactly what she wants, listen, because it will only benefit you in the end.
I didn't actually hear your occupation because of all the pops.
All right, biomed tech to do art on the side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's me.
You trying
Trying to what?
convince me? Why are you having so many new things?
New thing?
This chick, she's starting to get on my bad side. She wants to, for some reason, shame these young men for just trying to be nice to her. I don't know what this is, but I'm picking up on like this in her spirit, this straight up combativeness for no reason.
Hi, I'm Julianne. I'm 28 and I'm currently a grad student. Yeah.
There's no way all of them don't have IGs.
So unemployed.
What do you mean? He's just having a conversation with you. What are you talking about? Were you just trying to convince me? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What kind of new things?
Like your art.
Yeah, it's just on the side though.
Oh, she's a
Mainly biomed tech for the most part. Yeah, it's just me.
Okay, now is she your type?
Not generally what I go for. She's really pretty though. Yeah, it's just the main attraction for the most part, but beautiful. No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Huh?
What did she say?
Not generally what I go for. She's really pretty though. Yeah, it's just the main attraction for the most part, but beautiful. No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Huh?
I'm actually Mexican.
She tricked me. Oh, I thought she was she said, oh, I'm white, and then, oh, I'm just kidding. She tricked me. I thought that we found a cutie pie. She's a trickster. She's a trickster. Gentlemen, stay away from. She thinks that she's apparently a 10. So she has the propensity to try to embarrass you. This is the type of woman that is disrespectful to servers just because they're servers. She is the type of woman that is disrespectful to janitors just because that they're janitors. She is the type of woman that will leave the shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot after she goes to the supermarket. I hate those people with a passion.
If a man should provide, protect, and lead, what should a woman do? Because I hear this list every single day. Provide, protect, lead. And I agree with it. A man should absolutely do those things. But every time I ask the other question, the room goes quiet. It's like it's offensive to even bring it up. We've created a culture where a man's role has a job description, but a woman's role is just be yourself. That's not how relationships work. If one person has expectations and the other one has options, that's not a relationship. That's an audition where only one person is truly performing. And I'm not saying a woman should serve like a servant. That's not what this is. I'm saying if you expect a man to lead, you got to be willing to follow. If you expect him to provide, you got to be willing to build an environment worth providing for. If you expect him to protect, you got to be willing to not put him in positions where he has to protect you from yourself. In a relationship, both sides has terms. And somewhere along the way, we started holding men accountable to their side of the deal while telling women their side is optional. That's not equality. That's entitlement with the filter. Good man does not want a woman who does nothing. He wants a woman who matches his effort in her own lane. He leads, she nurtures. He provides, she manages. He protects, she respects. That's not old-fashioned. That's functional.
Why did a man ask me what I would cook for him to sweep him off his feet? And I just want to wholeheartedly say, I am never in my life trying to sweep a man off of his feet. I am the woman. I would like to be swept. I don't want to pick your big up. Nigga, you pull out the broom and you get the sweeping.
Well then, that escalated quickly. But for the record, sweetheart, being swept off your feet is not specific to women. It is just a metaphor for someone showing intense emotion, interest, effort, and impact to someone that they're attracted to. Sweeping someone off their feet can literally be a man sweeping a woman off her feet or a woman sweeping a man off his feet. It happens both ways, but the reason that you don't like is because you can't do it. You've never taken the time out to develop your character or your work ethic in order to perform a task as such. Sweeping someone off their feet has never been an easy thing to do, especially when you're just now meeting this person. What I'm starting to notice with some of y'all is that y'all like to shame things that y'all can't do yourselves. So y'all try to trick people into believing that you shouldn't be the one doing it at all. No. If that's someone you are interested in, you should put forth an effort to make an impact on them, and they should do the same in return. And another thing that I'm realizing is y'all only like things to be gender specific when it's in benefit to you. All of a sudden, a woman shouldn't have to sweep a man off his feet, but if a man ever were to come out and say he shouldn't have to cook or clean or do laundry, now we got an issue. The way some of y'all move the goalposts, man, it's sad because y'all not even trying to disguise it anymore. But back to the topic at hand. You don't like to sweep people off their feet because you can't. And even if your dream man were right in front of you, you knew you could not pull that off because you've never developed the characteristics in order to do so. And the next time you decide you want to come online and call that man a because he said, what would you do to sweep me off my feet? Please understand what the metaphor actually means. Y'all keep the change.
Having a child is becoming an unpaid Uber driver for someone who doesn't want to go to karate and hates you anyway. And it's hard work.
That is a narrative that I'm going to push back on, which is part of the problem, which is that it's the narrative of misery, which has been promoted. And it's not miserable to have children. It's joyful. It's the most incredible love you'll ever experience in your life, but it's also really hard. And I think we have a bunch of pussies, actually. We are producing women and men who are pussies, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. They cannot deal with discomfort. They cannot deal with frustration. They cannot deal with sacrifice or hardship or responsibility. They want it to be easy. Who said raising children was easy? You don't get the good stuff unless you put in the work. And it's the same if you're out in the world. Of course, it's easier to go to a job than it is to stay home with a child because a child demands more of you, but it also gives back more.
This is interesting too. When you begin to question what is the integrity of the friendship dynamic being offered, because I think a lot of men start to realize that, wow, this friendship is really just me getting the privilege of being able to listen to you vent about the things that you're unhappy about in your life. The job you don't like, your friends who piss you off, your boyfriend who does this, that, or whatever. And I think a lot of men feel like they're giving up too much emotional space being the male perspective. And although it's not black and white, and this is not everyone's experience, I think a lot of men feel like the only way they can really get the best out of any type of relationship with a woman is to have a romantic involvement with them. Now, I don't necessarily agree, but I think what happens is this is just one of many reasons why men would suddenly begin to distance themselves from those type of people. But it all gets thrown in this big box of, you were just manipulating her from the first place, you never really wanted friendship, you don't value women, and all this other stuff, and I just think that that is the part that's unfair.
A man who protects his peace is way more dangerous than a man who protects his ego. See, when you protect your ego, you have to react to everything. Every slight, every comment, every perceived disrespect. You're constantly at war with people who don't even matter. Just to prove a point nobody cares about. You think you look strong. You actually look easily controlled. Anybody can pull your strings just by challenging your pride. But a man who protects his peace, he's dangerous. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. He can sit in a room full of disrespect and not say a word because his identity isn't tied to their opinion. He knows that engaging with the fool will only prove that it's two of them instead of one. He's not ignoring the disrespect because he's scared. He's ignoring it because you're not worth the energy it takes to destroy you. The most dangerous man isn't the one looking for a fight. It's the one who can end it and chose to go home instead. Ego protection is expensive, bro. It costs you relationships, opportunities, years of your life defending something that was never worth defending. Peace protects compounds. Every time you choose it over the reaction, you're building something no one can take from you. Let them have the last word. You keep the peace. That's a better deal.
And I do get, talking about the Desmond and Christie sort of thing. First of all, kudos to that lady when she got HIV. She went and immediately called I guess you have to. I don't know if it's the law, but yeah, I think it might be mandatory that you tell them, hey, this is what happened. So, but I've seen it to where some women don't call nobody. They don't tell nobody what's up. So, kudos to you. But he said something to the effect of, you evolve and you have to evolve with that person. That's true. But I think it makes it very difficult. It makes it very difficult to evolve with somebody if they're not even the same person that you married. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, like he was saying, it's a 24/7 gig for her to be doing all the setups and the storyboards, and they were making a lot of money. She still is making a lot of money. He's making a little bit too. But having to, I believe her pranks and stuff, it's just a part of her personality, just kind of weird, kind of quirky, that sort of, this is just an exaggeration of who I am. But when you're married, you kind of move maybe not in lockstep all the time, but when you get married, you're going to need your partner's consent. So when you're doing all of these things, at some point in time, you need to ask him how he feels about it. And even if he says, oh, no, it's all right, I'm okay, at some point in time, you need to cool it. You know what I mean? You got to take it easy at some point in time. And I don't think modern women really know or really care about reading the room and knowing the limits of what you can and can't do, what you should and shouldn't do. You go back to the story about the woman. Her friends did a little joke where they asked their husbands about divorce. Oh, I want to get a divorce. And their husbands kind of begged them not to do it. But then she went home and did that to her husband and he ended up, filing for divorce. Right? So you got to be careful. You see all of these things where women are testing men. I tested my boyfriend. I did this, and I thought it was funny. And it's not so funny because the man didn't think it was a joke. There was, there's a saying, how come you guys can feel and you can sense when your man is cheating, but you can't sense when he is unhappy? Haven't heard an answer to that question.
Men don't just leave for a younger woman. They leave for a softer one with softer feminine energy. A man can watch you age in his arms and still want you like day one unless you that vibe. Brutal truth is that desire does not from a little bit of stretch marks or gray hair. It dies from the eye rolls. It dies when every sentence starts with a correction or when you talk to him like he is incompetent. Also, when you compete with him instead of receive. Nothing turns a man off faster than constant criticism that you call advice, mothering him instead of admiring him, speaking to him with contempt instead of warmth, acting like his presence is a burden and not a gift. Men don't need you to worship them. They need you just to respect them. Respect goes a long way. One soft, I'm proud of you, honey, hits way harder than a week of wild. Porn stars won't save it if the energy is hostile and cold. He wants you to want him, to look at him like he's your man, not your opponent. He will stay obsessed with you if you make him feel 10 feet tall, even if she's 55 plus with laugh lines, gray hair, and a softer body than the day that they met. They won't care about any of that. Male desire doesn't when her body changes. It dies when her feminine energy does. When she trades that feminine energy for resentment energy. The body he fell in love with is still there. The woman who made him feel like a king isn't. Men don't fall out of love with you. They fall out of love with who you have turned into. Bring back the warmth or watch him look for it somewhere else. Save this before your man sees it on somebody else's page.
When I tell men the ages of my daughters, I'd say 90% of them say the same thing. Oh, built-in babysitters. Nope. Nope. Because I'm an eldest daughter. And I actually love my girls. I love my girls. I love my 13-year-old and I love my 11-year-old. They are not built-in babysitters. They are humans with their own desires, their own wants, their own likes. They are not just default caretakers. And by the way, that is always the thing that's said to me that I immediately know I'm not going to see them again. Because if that's the way your mind works, if your mind immediately goes to putting the labor of your desires onto a young girl, onto a child, we have nothing further to speak about. You are too far gone in the patriarchal norms, and I will not have it around me.
I was in college, I dated a very traditional Christian man who asked me at one point, how do you feel about after you graduated, we just immediately got married and you were a stay-at-home wife and you didn't have to work? I was honestly offended by that question because I was so passionate about this thing that I was getting a degree in that I was just so eager to enter the workforce and do this thing that I loved and get money for it. Fast forward to today, I've graduated, we broke up, I'm now working in the profession of the thing that I got a degree in, and I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done.
I had a chat with a friend of mine last night who was complaining about how women don't want to be housewives anymore and they just want to have a career and they want to work and they want to hustle. And it was just insane because I looked at him and I was like, who on earth wants to work? And he was like, every woman, they want to work, they don't want to be at home, like they don't want to be taking care of the kids and whatever. And I was like, name me one woman that wants to work right now. Like there's no woman on earth that just wants to work and hustle and whatever. Like it doesn't.
The girlies are quitting their jobs. McKinsey just released their Women at Work Report 2024 edition. And what they found is that about a third of women are planning to leave their jobs.
Pretty much every video I post about careers, I get a ton of comments from people saying, I just don't want to work. Like no job sounds appealing to me because I just don't want to work.
My own story of the path I was on in my 20s. I did quit my job at 31 as a marketing director.
I took a few days to kind of chill out, cry all my tears, get all the anger out before I made this post. After 17 years of teaching, I resigned from my teaching position.
In 2026, being alone, being single, and being solo dolo, isolated is a better choice. But I'm gonna be so honest, nobody can be trusted. People are weird. Even when they look in your face and they smile in your face, they still find a way to put you down and behind closed doors, or they absolutely despise you. And me personally, I don't got space in my life for that. Like, if you ain't coming correct, don't come at all. Don't be here. Like, I don't got time, man. I really ain't got time. Like, I want good, solid people around me 24/7, 365. And I don't care for the fake energy. I don't care for the pretending to have good energy. And a lot of y'all are just not all there, bro. A lot of y'all just ain't cutting it. And I'm sick of that. I'm at a point where I'd much rather just be solo by myself for the rest of my life than to have bad company around me all the time for the rest of my life. So that's 2026, y'all. Trust me, being a little not so much around people, I promise you, is a much better choice.
Let's say you get married. Will you keep your last name or hyphenate in marriage?
I think I'll keep my last name.
You'll keep your last name?
Yeah. Just because my mom did.
She didn't hyphenate?
Thing. Nope.
What about for the kids? Do you have hyphenated?
I have my dad's.
You have your, okay.
Yeah.
So what was the point of that?
You raised your hand to all of my previous questions. Men should pay on first dates, men should provide, protect, men should be chivalrous, husband should be willing to protect. I don't know, if you want your husband to for you, you gotta take his last name.
Yeah,
I feel like you
at minimum.
What do men get? Women don't want to take the last name. They don't want to be submissive. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. What are men getting for all the traditional things that men do?
Nothing.
Yeah. Like, why won't you take the last name?
I like my last name.
Even if the guy has a really bad last name and your last name is the dopest last name ever, sorry.
How are men meant to know what you want from them if you don't communicate it with them? I want flowers. I'd really appreciate a breakfast in bed on my birthday. Any update on the flowers? I'd really appreciate it if you posted me on your Instagram story. My birthday's coming up, I'd really like some flowers. I'd really appreciate it if you posted me on your Instagram story. I'd like it if you opened doors for me sometimes. I'd really appreciate it if you come to a family dinner with me and my mum. Any follow up on the flowers? I'd really like a card on Valentine's Day. I'd really appreciate it if you started flirting with me again, like we don't flirt anymore. I'd like it if instead of like watching TV, we'd like go out on instead. Can you please unfollow the 2,000 Instagram models that you follow on Instagram? It makes me feel really uncomfortable.
What the did you just... When do you think you're gonna hit your wall realistically?
Oh, like I literally have glowed up every single year. Like every month I get hotter, so I don't believe in a wall. I think that's probably like 55.
What do you mean wall?
It's all
Explain to me
mentality.
what you
Like
mean wall.
unfortunately, like when you're hot, you get so much more power. It sucks, but it's the truth.
Wall as in fertility window dies down, your looks fade, stuff like that.
Okay, I feel like 37, almost 40. I feel like the stigma is like 30. Is like when girls are supposed to be like, like you have to
as a
settle
woman,
down.
like I don't base my worth on my fertility, so I think that probably like 60, even 70.
One could argue that a woman's most prized possession is her ability to reproduce, though.
Because I have a successful job in the business intelligence industry and I make my own money and my happiness doesn't stem from having children.
So this guy that's been trying to take me out finally picked a day. And so I was like, okay, well, what time and where? And he said, well, I don't know. Do you like coffee? Now, on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being super bit, 0 being no bit at all, can I respond never on a first date?
This is the exact attitude that is honestly exhausting for men. My honest advice is to please show this attitude off as soon as possible to the men that you're speaking to. Because at least then they will have an honest take of who you are as a person and how it would be to be in a relationship with you. And then at least that man will be free to either just focus on his own peace or find somebody else to focus on.
You know, there was a woman pushing her app talking about, you know, take this or leave this. But, you know, as a she said she was a mom. And she said she was a mom. I think this is the same woman talking about, I want a man to pay a deposit in order to take a woman out. Just stupidity. Just stupidity. And you're continuing to sit back and listen to these modern women and understand why they still are where they are, as pretty as you want to be, fine, looking good, bodies tea and all that stuff. But any and every time they open their mouth, it's going to be something stupid. It's going to be something stupid. At some point in time, it's going to be something dumb. Period. End of story. Just you can count on modern women to say something dumb and say it with confidence and think that a man is going to be like, yeah, it makes sense. A simp will, but a man that respects himself and a man that has any kind of common sense, half a brain, he's going to be like, nah, she's stupid. She looks nice, but she's an idiot.
Why do y'all only want traditional man leadership when it's convenient for you? Why is that?
Here you go.
Why is that?
Here you go.
I just got a question. You know what I mean?
Just expand on that a little. What are you saying? What are you trying to imply here?
Gladly. Okay, what I'm saying is that women want selective traditionalism, right? So when it comes to the man leading and all of that, when they're benefiting, they're all for it. You feel what I'm saying? But when it comes to the man leading on and they feel like they ain't getting none out of it or they don't agree with it, then they want to raise up and have a problem with it. You feel what I'm saying? If you want traditionalism, which is the man leading and the woman being in her place and all of that good stuff, relax, in her place.
We could hold up. We can have some traditionalism mixed in with some contemporary things.
And that's the
we
thing.
can mix it all in.
That's the
Why
thing.
I gotta be one way or this way?
yeah, I know it's trendy to hate men nowadays. I know it's like a really cool thing for women to do, but this is really weird. You're in a public space, right? And all he did was walk by. He didn't put his hand on you. He just literally walked by. You're at a public restaurant and you felt the need to react in that manner. Sweetheart, you need help. Like, for real, all jokes aside, I don't even think it's for social media anymore. I genuinely believe that you need help. Because if I'm being completely honest, it literally looked like you saw a ghost. Like, if we didn't see that man in the frame, I'm like, oh shit, she's seeing, like, she hallucinating right now. I've never seen someone react to someone just walking by them in a public restaurant. This is insane. Whatever drugs you on, please stop taking it. It's making you trip the out, like simply making you lose it. It's not a good look. First and foremost, who raised you that way? Why? What about that is necessary? And secondly, if you hate men so much, why would you go to a space that you know men could possibly be at? You can't hate them that much. It's not possible. Thirdly, he didn't do anything to you. He just walked by. That is it. Man, I would hate to see you at a sporting event or the mall or the barbershop. Yeah, a public basketball court. How you gonna function in those places if you can't even manage somebody just walking by you? That man was probably sitting at a table with his family. Got to get up and go to the bathroom or something. He walked by and you doing the most. For what? Why you like this? And I promise you, this will be one of the same women talking about men need to protect her. Where the real men at? Some of y'all take this social media a little too far. It's disgusting at this point. It really is. But you know what? I know she ain't gonna listen to me because I'm a man. So she really not gonna listen to me. Fortunately for her, she ain't got to. Yeah, keep the change.
Some of you guys don't like it when I say this, but the man sets the tone in the relationship from day one, whether people want to admit it or not. A woman responds to the environment that a man creates. If he's clear in his intentions, steady with his actions, grounded in who he is, guess what? She relaxes, she softens, and she feels safe enough to follow his lead. That is not weakness. That is biology and just a nervous system regulation. But when a man leads with mixed signals, hot one day, cold the next, uncertain about what he wants, emotionally inconsistent, guess what? She does not feel safe. So her body switches into survival mode. She becomes extremely guarded, hypervigilant, questioning everything, and emotionally exhausted. Not because she is too much, but because the container and foundation is unstable. Women do not want to lead men, whether they like to admit that or not. They don't want to. They respond to leadership, and leadership isn't loud. It is calm, firm, and super steady and consistent. And when a man knows who he is and where he's going, a woman does not need to manage, chase, or protect herself. She can just be. And when that happens, guess what? Polarity returns. The attraction deepens and the relationship finally feels easy instead of tense. So my dudes, listen to me carefully. I don't care if you don't like it. You are setting the tone for how the relationship is going. If she is combative, ask yourself what you need to be doing better. If she is holding everything in, again, ask yourself what you can be doing better, because you are the leader here. We follow your lead.
I have a question.
What's that?
Why do people like cars that are so low to the ground, that are easily scratchable?
Well, a car lower to the ground is sexier. It's like,
I disagree.
Well, that's because you have bad taste.
Like, if you have to worry about going over a speed bump, and scratching the bottom of your car, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
It
like,
is worth
what a headache.
It is worth it. Like, women that put on heels and makeup and spend 3 hours getting ready for the most pointless thing, and it's worth it to y'all because it makes you feel better. Now all of a sudden I want to lower my car because that makes me feel better, and clicking a button to raise it is too much work. Okay.
Ladies, the more masculine a man is, the more controlling he's going to be. This does not mean that he's going to be insecure. This means that he's always looking to protect you. That's why he always pays attention to everything that you do, because he's always looking out for your best interest. If you're not used to a man like that and you don't trust him, you're going to see it as controlling. You're going to think he's trying to take over your life. But in reality, he's just a true alpha, and that's just how they are built. So if you trust this man, if you know that this man loves you, if you know that he wants to give you everything, if you know that you can be led by this man, listen to this man and trust this man, because he's only looking to elevate you and position you in a better place. And a great way for you to realize this is to ask yourself, whenever he's trying to redirect you, is this for my benefit and the benefit of this relationship? And if the answer is yes, there you have it.
You guys, look at this video right here. This is what appears to be a single mom of 3 right now, trying to take down the Christmas tree. Mind you, it's February. Like, it's February right now. This is just laziness. This is laziness to a T. That's what's wrong with this country. 3 kids, 1 on her hip, probably by 3 different dads, if I'm being honest. Like, where is the husband in this situation? Where is the husband that should be helping her take down the tree? Like, I just want to know where the husband is. Is chivalry in this country? Is chivalry?
Hypergamy is probably the biggest cope of 2026. This graph probably only applies to gold diggers, escorts, or the kind of girls you'd see on a clavicular stream clip. Those are not girls you want to date anyways. I see men complaining all the time about, hoes and bodies and gold diggers. Okay, because you're literally looking in areas of the highest concentration of gold diggers and escorts and hoes. A high quality, good, nice girl with good values is not hypergamous. Stop coping. If your goal is to attract a girl who's nice, who has good values, wants to settle down, doesn't have 20 bodies, and is all round normal, not like the ones you see on the internet, then go click the caption below if you want some real dating advice from real normal men.
Do you post for yourself or do you post for males' attention?
Myself.
Alright, so let's say you're talking to a dude and he asks you, make your page private and delete all the males from your following. Would you look at him as insecure, or do you think this would be an accurate statement by him?
Insecure.
Why would he be insecure?
Majority of the people that I have around me are my brothers or my homeboys that I've known for a really long time. So there's no reason for me to do that anyways. But at the end of the day, if you secure in yourself, then there's no reason for me to private my page because I look good and everybody think I look good.
Okay, now check this out. If you post for yourself, why would it matter if you delete the dudes off your page?
Why would it matter if I delete the dudes off my page? Why does it matter if I don't?
Has a dude that was a male friend ever tried to flirt with you or shoot his shot with you?
Yeah, but they got cut off.
Okay. So if you know that's a probability, if you're in a relationship, why don't you already beat them to it and go on limit that now? Do you think it's smart to wait for the risk come, then try to stop the risk? Or do you think it's smart to beat the risk before it poses a threat to the relationship?
I mean, me personally, if you got a problem with it, then we just not gonna be together. I don't really care about none of that, for real. Like,
So you post for yourself, but you will have a problem with a man telling you to remove the other men that's not family members off your page.
yeah, I mean, especially if they not doing nothing, but yeah, I don't really care for real.
Okay, so something you guys have to stop doing is simping. I hate using this word, but don't be a simp, because at the end of the day, you're just validating the wrong woman. Give the validation to the right woman, the women that deserve it, not the wrong woman. At the end of the day, there's that one girl that gets that one simp, and has been reckless her whole life. She's done whatever she's wanted, and then she says, oh, well, this guy wants me, so I have a boyfriend, so yeah, like, girls, go be reckless, do whatever you want. Guys don't care. This guy wants me. You cannot be simps. You cannot validate the wrong woman. And at the end of the day, you probably weren't her first choice. I'm sorry, but that's the harsh truth. She probably just settled because the guy that she really wanted didn't want her, and she needs to have babies. She needs to get married. So she settled for the simp. Don't be a woman's second choice, third choice, fourth choice, 10th choice. Do not be a simp.
And, there was a guy that was talking about men starting to ghost women. Even in friendships. And he said, modern women do this thing where they think it's a privilege. And the man steps back and he's like, it's actually not that much of a privilege for me to have to sit up here and listen to her vent and talk about how she hates her boyfriend so much and all of these other things. But that is a privilege, because she would get with another woman and they would be going back and forth sharing stories, and it would be an afternoon over coffee, just talking about nonsense. And they don't, because they're sharing, they're fulfilled. They feel emotionally stronger. They feel emotionally more bonded. I told you all of this, da 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 da. And that's when they get upset, because I told you all of this. I thought we were together because I shared my feelings with you. Well, men feel the same way, right? I thought, you're going to protect my feelings. But modern women will take those feelings that you told them in confidence and use them against you, right? That's another reason that men ghost, because they feel like, all of this stuff you're telling me, my God, and I'm trying to figure out solutions for you, and I got to sit here for another 200 or however many hours and sit here and listen to all of these issues. I don't want to do that anymore. So he just stops talking to you, or he goes and does something else. But women love it. That, to them, that's pure paradise. That's heaven. Sign me up. Listen to quote unquote drama, and then the next time we'll do it again. We'll talk more drama, and that's our show. That's our soap opera. That's our 90 Day Fiance sort of drama right there. They love that.
Sis, you ain't ready. You think you are, but you ain't ready. You're not ready to be a wife. See, the kind of wife that we was raised to be, you know what I'm saying? The one that can get her own, to be independent, do what she want, wear what she want, talk as she want. He got to make the money. He got to take you out. He got to do all these things. That's cool. It's real cool. But that doesn't qualify you for being a wife. Let me cook. See, marriage is about covenant, not convenience. And if you get with a man and he's bringing order, and you see that structure and that order as something that is controlled, you're not ready, sis. You're not ready. Because covenant requires alignment. Covenant requires assignment. As soon as some man starts bringing some order and some structure into your life, you want to call it control. And baby girl, that's not what that is. You're starting to see his correction as something that is a competition, and that's not what that is, sis. He's correcting you because he loves you. You can't bring pride into this situation. You can't do that. And if you start thinking that accountability is an attack, sis, you're not ready. And I'm not talking about the unhealthy man. I'm not talking about the toxic man. I'm not talking about the misogynistic man. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about a man of God who was healthy, who was bringing stability, order, and peace into your life. You can't bring instability to sanctuary. He's going to come in your life to grow you, to make you more holy. See, what y'all want is y'all want a marriage that's going to make you happy. And marriage is supposed to make you even more holy. And that's the problem, is we getting into these situations thinking that we're not going to be tested, that we're not going to keep being refined. Baby girl, that man is here for purpose, for assignment. Let him cook. You can't think that you getting a husband is an upgrade. This ain't a product. The husband is supposed to help you with your assignment. You can't walk into a marriage wanting all the benefits of everything, but you don't want to stand down. Sis, he's going to cover you in everything, in all aspects, financially, emotionally. He's laying his life down to cover you. And the right man is going to honor you. And it is going to be an honor for him to do that. The right man he's not trying to control you, baby. That man his love is sacrificial. And you will feel it. You will know, because you will feel even more powerful. You'll feel even stronger with him. You'll feel even more sexy with him. Accountability is not an attack when elevation is the goal. You don't become a wife because he chooses you. You become a wife when heaven can trust you. That's when you're ready.
Have to dance. I agree with you on that. But what I'm saying is, it sounded like some of y'all are upset that a man is trying to make it better for you, though. Is that the case? Go ahead.
No, I said a real man wouldn't even try to be controlling, and a man that wants better for you and asks you to change, or hey, whether you going to school, a nurse, a doctor, a stripper, whatever, will better.
If you a nurse or doctor, he's not gonna ask you to change. That's really some stripper
Believe
shit.
it or not, men are intimidated by all types of women with different careers. It's not just that. That's not the only problem that men have. No, if a man is trying to control your life, what makes a man controlling? He's insecure if he feels the need to do that. Like,
I think he should just get a different drop a bomb. Instead of trying to change her, brother, and get her out the club and reroute her life and get her shit together, you should just get a different woman. You should get someone that's more to your need, that's more to your speed. She likes different things and things that you like are in common. Other than that, just get a different woman. Respectfully.
Bro, if you got a woman that shows you this level of femininity and effort, do not take that for granted. This brother flew all the way to Thailand to meet up with his girl, a Thai chick. I believe that's Thailand. She showed up with a big old grin like the Joker, a dozen roses and a card, just smiling and grinning and happy to see the brother. I understand you passport bros, and I ain't mad at you personally. Go where you love. I don't even want no flowers, but anytime a woman does something for me out of the kindness of her heart that she did not have to do, I am so appreciative of her, because she didn't have to do that. And when you find a giver and she's such a sweet woman, man, keep her and do right by her, because these days that's hard to find. Super feminine and soft-spoken and kind and willing to do stuff for you, bro. That's not something you get every day in America. So I understand why the passport bros exist. I understand why brothers go abroad to find that level of femininity. Personally, I don't feel like I have to do that to find that level of femininity, but it can be challenging in America trying to find that level of femininity. So when you do find it out here, man, you better cherish that, bro. Because these women think it's cool to be mean and they ain't gotta be nice and I don't owe you niceness and kindness. Like, just look at the video I made in the brown hoodie and look at the comments when I'm talking about how women are so aggressive and just rude and mean. Look at how they are talking in the comment section, bro. And I said I love our black sisters and they still coming for me. Roll the tape.
Okay. Alright. That's how she pulled up to the airport for me. They calling us all kind of names in the comments on social media, but you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy. She happy.
Sis gonna tell me what I'm successfully married and you're just mad because your marriage failed. I say, oh, okay. I said, sis, you might be right, but I want to know how successful your marriage really is. So pull back. It's for every woman who married or in a long-term relationship. Pull back from everything. No love making, no cooking, no cleaning, no nurturing, no asking him how his day was, no feeding into his ego. No taking care of him, no asking him anything like that makes him feel great. Right. Pull back from all of that. Mm-hmm. And when you do...
You know what it is about miserable people? They are always the people who thought that they were bigger than the program and got shown differently. And now they are looking at you wondering why the program is working for you, why you're happy, why you're whole, and they are still miserable. Don't listen to no stupid like this. Don't do it. Don't do it. You tried to sabotage Shorty's relationship and she didn't fall for it. You want her to get a divorce like you got a divorce. Me and my wife been together for 12 years and at times you fall on hard times and sometimes she had to retract emotionally. Sometimes I had to retract emotionally in order to handle things in our daily life. But to intentionally do those kind of behaviors, it is absolutely diabolical, it's evil, it's selfish, and this is exactly why you're divorced. But imagine your husband says, hey, you know what? I want to find what let me pull back the love. Let me not take care of her. Let me not pay for anything. Let me do it and let her pick up the slack. What kind of selfish, ignorant shit? You don't need to be married.
You said it all wrong.
Huh? Go ahead, Larry. What is he getting wrong? Go ahead. Let me hear your piece.
I'm taking it all wrong. Go ahead and correct me. That's correct me. That's part of the pie, okay? Part of the pie. You got to be able to bring something. Yeah, I can take care of myself. But okay. You got to be able to bring something, but I look for what's on the inside of a person. As long as I have enough money. But,
my insides. So you see me and you look at my insides. So I work at Waffle House.
Hey!
I cook at Waffle House.
Yeah.
And I'm a faithful man.
Yep.
I have a consistent paying job.
Yep.
Okay. Do you see yourself being able to date me working at Waffle House? Drop a bomb. I'm give a damn about what's on the inside. You don't give a about none of that. You give a about him providing, taking care of the business, and providing stable environment. If he cannot do that, he is not the man for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can just say that respectfully, Queen. You can just say that.
Best believe that when I'm dating a man, I will sit with the door open and make eye contact with him while I'm doing it. I'll even grunt a little bit. You want to know why? Because it is important to assert dominance. You have to show him that you are the boss and you are in control no matter what. Do not break eye contact with the door open. Ladies, I'm telling you, this is the only way. This is the only effective way to assert true dominance. Thank me later.
Modern women are just insufferable, man. They really are. Just insufferable. There was a woman talking about, she goes out on dates with men and, she has 2 daughters, 11 and 13. And, she gets the common comment or whatever, where a man might say, oh, you have built-in babysitters. Oh, no, they're not babysitters. They are human beings. They are not objects. They have their own wants and desires and feelings. And I do understand what you're saying. But as a single mother, when you go out on dates, are you taking all of them to, I guess at 11 and 13, then you would, kind of take them to somewhere else. But whenever they get older, right? Whenever they get older, you're probably going to say, hey, Dad and I want to go out. Can you watch your sister? Or can you watch your brother? Naturally, because, we don't want, why would we, if you're home, you can watch your sibling. I understand you don't want that responsibility, but why would we take y'all or bring somebody over here on y'all that we might trust, but we trust our kids more with our kids? You know what I mean? I trust my kid more to take care of my child, because they know our values, they know to call us, yada, yada, yada. Right now you have your parents or whatever and whatnot you can call. But that would be the natural choice and the logical choice. And I think some of those guys are joking, but I also think you're going to get to a point to where while you're on this high horse for some reason, I don't know why you thought this or picked this hill to die on, at some point in time, you're going to say, hey, can you help me out with this? I need you to do this. And then all of that, they're human beings with their own desires and stuff, is going to go out the window, because they will have been and fulfilled the role of what the man said or suggested they could be.